Hello students, I am Dr. S.B. Savarkar, Department of Physics, Sri Shivaji College, Akola. I welcome you all for our sixth lecture on length contraction. In this lecture, we cover length contraction and expression for length contraction. The special theory of relativity rejects the concept of absoluteness. Hence, the length of the object measured at rest and in uniform motion are different. The length of the moving rod or the moving body gets contracted when measured by an observer in a stationary inertial frame. Let us discuss what is length contraction. The contraction in length in the direction of motion is called length contraction. It is also called Lorentz-Fitzgerald contraction. So, consider two inertial frames of reference S and S dash. Suppose this is a S frame. It is at rest. This is x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and there is another frame of reference S dash, which is moving with velocity v along the positive direction of x-axis, such that the x-axis always remain coincided, y-axis remain parallel to y-dash axis, z-axis remain parallel to the z-dash axis. At time t dash equal to 0, origins of both frames coincides, and as this frame S dash is moving with uniform velocity v, it covers a distance vt in time t. Now, if we consider a rod having length, say rest length L0, it is placed parallel to the axis O dash x dash. So this is a rod of length L0. This rod is at rest in the frame S dash and it is moving. As frame S dash is moving, this rod is moving with the velocity v with respect to the observer in the stationary frame S. Now if the position coordinates of the two ends of the rod are, say, x1 dash and x2 dash in the frame S dash, now this length measured by an observer in the rest frame called L0, and this L0 it is called proper length. L0 is called proper length, and coordinates, as here the rod is at rest in the frame S dash, so these position coordinates are independent of time T dash, and therefore here in terms of the coordinates x1 dash and x2 dash, this proper length means length of the rod measured in the rest frame. It is the proper length. It is given by L0 is equal to x1 x2 dash minus x1 dash. Let it be equation number 1. Equation number 1. Let the coordinates of the ends of the rod as observed by the observer in the rest frame S are say represented by x1 and x2. So x1 and x2 are the coordinates, position coordinates of the ends of the rod with respect to an observer in the frame S. Then the length, which we call it as a moving length, because this rod is moving along with this frame S dash along the positive direction of x-axis. So length of this moving rod, say represented by L, will be given by here x2 minus x1, say equation number 2. Now we know the Lorentz transformation. According to Lorentz transformation, x dash is equal to x minus vt upon under root of 1 minus v square by c square. Now using this Lorentz transformation equation, we can write values of x1 dash and x2 dash. So accordingly we have x1 dash equal to x1 minus vt upon under root of 1 minus v square by c square, and x2 dash similarly x2 dash is equal to x2 minus vt upon under root of 1 minus v square by c square. So if we want to find value of L0, so we write L0 is equal to x2 dash minus x1 dash, means here x2 minus vt under root of 1 minus v square by c square minus x1 minus vt upon under root of 1 minus v square by c square. If we take here LCM is under root 1 minus v square by c square, and then we have x2 minus vt here minus x1 minus plus vt. So vt, this vt gets cancelled. We get L0 is equal to x2 minus x1 upon under root of 1 minus v square by c square, or L0 is equal to x2 minus x1. As per equation number 2, it is L, length of the rod in motion, that is L upon under root of 1 minus v square by c square, or we can write L is equal to L0 under root of 1 minus v square by c square. This is equation number 3. So this equation 3, look at equation 3, it is observed that this value of this square root, that is 1 minus v square by c square, is always less than 1, and hence moving length L is always less than the length of the rod at rest. This shows that the length of the rod moving with velocity v gets contracted in the direction of motion by a factor under root of 1 minus v square by c square. This, it means moving length appear to be less than that of the length measured when the rod is at rest, and this is called the length contraction or Lorentz Pietsch's contraction. This contraction in the length always takes place only in the direction of motion, and there is no contraction in the direction which is perpendicular to the direction of the motion. So we note some points from the equation number 3. Here, if say V is very less than C, then V square by C square will be very negligible, very small, or it will be negligible, this quantity negligible. So this square root 1 minus V square by C square tends to 1, because this value is V square by C square is neglected, and we get L equal to L0. It means that the length of the rod at rest and length of the rod when it is in motion, both are same. There is no contraction in the length of the rod. If the velocity of the moving rod, if it is less than, very less than velocity c, that is velocity of light. Second thing is when velocity v is comparable, have a comparable with c, velocity of light, in that case the square root of 1 minus v square by c square will be always less than 1, and therefore here the L will be always less than L0. Let us see what happens when the velocity v is equal to c or v greater than c. When velocity of light c becomes equal to here 1 under root of, then value of under root of 1 minus v square by c square, it will be here 1 minus 1 means here 0, so length will be 0. Or when velocity is greater than the velocity of light, then here the L will be imaginary here, this factor will be, length will be imaginary. So this is not the actual case here. So we have studied here what is length contraction, and we have obtained the expression for length contraction and effect of velocity of the rod on the length of the rod or the length of the object. So let us stop here. Thank you.